Welcome to Locker Room Talk, everyone. Joe Gorman, Matt Maran, Robert Sheehan.
Our guest has helped write for Saturday Night Live, Pete Davidson. You may have seen him on Kanye West Instagram. It's Dave Sirus.
Hi. So nothing we said before was on the air, right?
No,
right.
it's all fucking...
Nothing's recorded.
Only when I
Okay.
say welcome to Locker Room Talk.
Sorry, guys. If you want to hear what Dave was saying before we started recording, you're going to have to subscribe to the Patreon.
Because honestly, I was saying career-ending things.
Don't worry.
I was
Don't worry,
really-
dude. Like, after what we've said, after what I've said,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Don't
I've
worry.
said the N-word. I thought it was just a mic check, and then I was like, I'll get it in post. I forgot to take it out, so now I'm very vigilant about how I edit the podcast.
After
Don't
weeks
worry.
of me encouraging him to use another word to mic check.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only one I know.
Yeah, no, I meant career-ending in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, this is true. I had to delete TikTok from my phone because I just really do have too many secrets.
Yeah.
Like, I've been...
Accidentally say something.
Well, no, I just mean, no, because like TikTok, I think the problem is that if they want to, they can go through your phone. They can target famous people and like basically get anything in your phone is like that. Here's the thing about TikTok. Like, honestly, everyone's getting mad. You have to really look at this. Like, for politicians to do something they know will make people hate them,
Yeah.
it has to be really serious.
Yeah.
Like, they know they lose votes off this.
If they ban
which means
TikTok.
this must be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of security evidence they have about TikTok. So I literally had to delete mine because my phone would make Harvey Levin come glitter. Like, I have been too close to too many famous breakups
Yeah.
to like ever have anyone touch my
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say you're my most famous friend, but you are the person who is my friend that knows the most famous people.
I have become kind of a Forrest Gump of TMZ.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I really have
I
been...
went to your birthday party and met Ariana Grande.
Yeah. No, the fact that you were invited to the same party as
Yes,
Ariana Grande
exactly.
really shows how much the Matrix is broken. Like,
Yeah.
that should not be.
Yeah.
There should be no scenario where, like, and also that was just such a favor. And we got along at the time, but yeah, I've had very weird conversations with people who were way too famous to talk to me, and they always have the same attitude of like, you're too comfortable talking to me.
I can't get anything out of you. Why are you okay
Yeah.
talking to me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no, it is weird. I've met a lot of famous people.
And you can't.
It's really
And
bizarre.
is there any name that will get you not in a lot of trouble to mention?
Well, I mean, what do you mean?
Have you met Obama?
No.
Damn.
As in any person you can mention here that won't get you in trouble.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, I can say everyone I've met.
yeah.
I just
you
don't.
just can't say if they were like.
I
shitty
can't
to
like
you.
have. I mean.
Can you tell us who the cutest was?
Or who is the best kisser?
Okay, cutest. Without definitely Chris Hemsworth.
Nice.
Because he was like very broy in like a good way.
Yeah.
He was actually like super nice and like broy and like chill. And like that's just nice to see when someone's like that fucking famous.
Yeah.
This is so funny. This is what this has become. It just
Immediately, we're just like, talk to us.
star fucking with Dave Sirus.
Yeah, talk to me about Thor.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I'm trying to think like no one's been like a dick except for like Trump and so I mean I
The
can't.
men with the most to do.
Yeah, but and I'll be clear, both of them at the time seemed to be trying to be nice. So I have to be.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, if there's anyone in show business or works in entertainment is like, who can I publicly say is an asshole? Trump is the one.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, no,
It'll help you if you have more evidence of Trump being an asshole.
Yeah.
He should be indicted for being rude to my friend Dave Sirus.
Yeah, and he, honestly, he wasn't rude. He wasn't trying to be rude at one point. I remember I had to show him changes to a sketch because like there's a lot of last minute changes, and he goes, "All right, I want you to go to the cue card guy and have him make the same changes so they match." And I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking know. You don't work here."
That was so. How did you manage before he was on the show to do stuff like that?
That's what was so funny about it. I also, I just thought that was
It
funny.
was just chaos before Trump came in, started tightening up the ship and things.
He does seem like the kind of guy who like meets a star athlete and then gives him advice on like how to run his offense.
Of course, exactly. Yeah, yeah. We all know that guy who like is just really comfortable telling people how to do things they've never done before.
Yeah, like a guy who's just really comfortable talking to famous people when he shouldn't be.
yeah.
Is that
exactly.
you, Matt?
No, it's Dan.
But that's why it works.
But you,
Yeah.
but you hung out with Ariana Grande.
He did.
I just like I introduced myself to her. There was no point
And
in
she
the
was
party.
like, "Can I feel your bicep?" And she was like, "This is crazy. Do you have like a steel plate in there?" And you're like,
Well,
"No,
she
I
had-
just go to the gym."
Well, she had to be nice to you. You were there with Chris Crespo.
Was he there that night?
You were there with him. Yeah,
I was there with
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Okay,
so
yeah.
So
Chris
she
doesn't have arms, by the way.
Yes.
No, he has like he's like a little Tyrannosaurus.
He has arms the way I have a penis.
yeah.
yeah, a little nubbin arm.
Oh, sorry for people who don't know. Bobby is short, Irish, and redheaded.
Yes.
So to explain
People
why,
who are just listening.
to explain that joke about his penis.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there was no point in the party where we were in the same circle hanging out. And unlike a couple of the other comics there, I didn't try to force my way into having a conversation with Ariana Grande.
Oh yeah, some people were really shooting their shot there. Some people are like, I mean, look, let's be fair. It's not like that person was ever. Anyone doing that was never going to be in a room with her again,
Yes.
or anyone else on the Billboard Top 100.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was surreal. That
Yeah.
was a while ago.
Yeah.
And then, but thank God things settled down since then. And
What
I
do you
haven't-
think
Yeah.
was better, that or judging Comedy Fight Club?
Good question.
Well, okay, I'll say this. What's kind of funny about it is I love judging Comedy Fight Club. I do it mostly for fun because I have no interest in like live performance anymore.
Yeah, really.
Well, I don't want to half-ass it. You know what I mean? I put so much of my work towards other people's performance, and I kind of like that. So like, I don't want to be one of these guys who just does stand up, on the side.
But don't you have like the itch?
That's the thing. I don't. If I'm writing
It
for
scratches
something,
the itch to see
Yeah.
someone else saying your joke.
it really does.
Well,
To
it's
have it
just
on
like-
TV and like
Yeah.
that absolutely is just as good for me.
It's like how do you make people laugh? And it's like this is like the way to do it.
Yeah, seeing Triumph do my jokes is absolutely as good as getting them my own. But it's also because you get a bigger audience and you get to make a living off it. But it's also just really like I never needed to be the star. I just needed my jokes to be out.
Yeah.
Where was
But
I?
anyway,
That's
Comedy
such the
Fight Club.
opposite of all of the people we know in the scene that are like, I don't really have any jokes, but I would like people to look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like when we used to hang out when Pete was with Ariana. One thing that we did, she would love to play. I think I told you about this. She would love to play Quiplash.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah!
And
damn, we have so much in common, dude.
I-
Dave, you gotta fucking give her my fucking Twitter handle.
I want to be clear about this. There is nothing in the world more terrifying than playing Quiplash with a bunch of famous people, because the thing is, I'm there only because I'm funny. Like, I have nothing else justifying being there. I have to be a fucking genius at this.
Yeah.
Or I have to just walk away and die. So, like, it would just, playing Quiplash with, like, a bunch of people that are friends, and they know each other, and they've been playing together, and then I'm just the little Jew comedy writer who gets to hang out. Like, it was the most stressful thing.
The hardest gig you've ever had.
Yeah, it was so fucking. I was like, "Fuck! I gotta fucking kill this. I
Yeah.
have to. If I don't murder this, I don't get to come back."
Yeah. Well, that goes back. We have an ongoing argument where Joe says never tell anyone you do comedy outside of comedy. And I'm somewhere in the middle where I say feel it out. Bobby's more.
Bobby Sheehan, comedian. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And Joe's thing is, well, and I do see the point where in a situation like that, if people know you're a comedian, now even if you're funny, you've just lived up to the expectation.
Yeah, there's
Like you're not even. It's not even. Oh, he's a funny guy. You're supposed to be a funny guy.
Yeah, you gain nothing.
Yeah.
You gain. Like, have you ever not told someone you're a comic and then
Yeah.
have them say you're funny, you should do comedy?
Yeah.
all the time, baby. I love it. I'm like at the office. I'm like cracking jokes like, "Oh, you should do comedy." I'm like, maybe someday.
Yeah.
Like, little do they know I have like a little alt-right podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it does in your regular life until it's like you're doing well enough that there's no way to hide it.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
I also don't want to like kind of like become like a self-fulfilling, because like sometimes I don't know, because sometimes it gives me like imposter syndrome. Like maybe I tell people I'm not a comic because I myself don't feel like I'm a comic. So there is a balance to it, even though it's like, yeah, I've gotten like paid to do comedy, which is, I feel, the real litmus test of being a comic. Like, have you made money doing it?
Yeah, I think I try and feel people out, and then depending on how close I get to them, especially sometimes with like jobs I've had, I tell my bosses just as far as scheduling goes, just so I'm like, I have this other thing that I do that I may not be able to work on weekends or whatever. But overall, yeah, there is something a little bit exciting about the fact that I can be funny and someone doesn't know that I'm a comedian.
My boss found out I did stand-up comedy because I made an appearance on Natalie Cuomo's Help podcast, and he was following Natalie Cuomo, and he was like, "I didn't know you did this." I'm like,
Where it's the subway.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah,
OnlyFans.
she said help.
Yeah.
I feel like you should not tell your coworkers or anyone that you do comedy, so that anytime there's like a show you want them to go to, you just tell them that's your first time on stage.
Oh,
Ooh,
brilliant.
that's good.
Then they'll go and be supportive.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a smart
actually,
one.
yeah. But you're back in town. You were away. I don't think you can say what you were doing, but
No, I can't really, but I was just working, which was just...
Can you tell us what branch of the military you were working
Yeah.
for while you were away?
No. But I was in
Comedy
a
Corps.
southern state, so
it was
I feel
the
like,
CCP Army.
yeah. No, I was getting to like do joke like punch up for something, which
Oh,
is
that's
really
nice.
that's what I've always wanted to do. It's just
Yeah.
where you don't have to do anything. You just show up and be like this. If you change this word to gay, that'll really make this movie
Hell
sing.
yeah.
Well, it's also cool because like it's like half of the joke is written because like it's the situation, and you just have to kind of expand upon that.
Right. So like I'm not doing any of the structure, but I will still consider it having rewritten the whole thing.
Yeah.
Even though I'm just changing wording slightly.
Saving it.
Yeah. Oh no. I truly, truly hope that like when the movie comes out, people are just like, because I was there for a certain amount of time, I hope people are just like, most bizarre thing, the movie suddenly gets good for like 8 minutes.
It is funny. You almost, when you do that, you almost get to be like if you have a friend who has kids, or if you're an uncle or an aunt, where you just like pop in and you get to be fun and have fun with the kids, but you don't have the responsibility of actually taking care of the kids. You just
Yeah.
get to come in for the fun part.
You
and
show
then,
up, give them candy,
Yep.
and like, you don't even have to deal with like
Yeah.
the crash
yeah,
later. 'Cause
exactly.
It's like the
You just
parents'
show up,
problem.
sprinkle in a few punchlines, go away, and
Yeah. And it is like
yeah.
babysitting, because while I'm there, I'm trying to make sure I'm eating everything I will for the day, and even take some stuff with me
Yeah.
for
Right.
the rest of the night. That is what I miss most about being on set, is never having to pay for food in any way.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Is a real, because they really, and I was like having to stay in shape because I'm in the show that we have coming out soon.
Yeah.
So for the most part, I wasn't able to do it, but usually it's really unhealthy how much I want to consume when the food is free.
yeah.
Like, and they have to like keep people like fed all the time.
Yeah. It is crazy how the more rich and successful you get, the more free things you get. Why?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I would never pay for the kinds of flights I get to do when it's like through work.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it actually is.
When
It's-
you travel, do you do anything in the area, and are you more just like work, hotel, or trailer, and that's it?
Well, I mean, if I go to LA, I just have a lot of friends there because
Yeah.
I lived there for so long. Other than that, like the thing is, when you're working on set, it's usually at least 12 hours a day. So there's not like
Yeah.
much other time. This set was actually great. It was like 10. That was like a dream.
Yeah.
A 10-hour set is like crazy. Like how good that is. So like I still didn't do anything because I really enjoy not doing anything when I can.
Yeah.
And I guess when you're like out of town, that's sort of an excuse to, like, because what are you going to do? What am I going to do? Go see sights?
Yeah, I mean that's
Go
what
see a city?
Whenever I go anywhere, I feel like I wasted if I didn't like do something. Even if I'm
Yeah.
going there for comedy, I'm like I still want to like do something.
Well, that's the thing, is the only thing I'll do if I'm in a new city is I'll just try to eat whatever like they're good at.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing. I was in Atlanta, so I got something called spoon bread.
What's that?
Sounds like a slur.
It's like a it's like a pulled pork and cornbread and honey
Damn.
butter thing.
I would eat the shit out of that. It
was good.
That rules.
But you're a big history guy, also.
Yes, I
right?
do love
So,
history.
yeah, I always when I go we did when we did Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie,
Yeah.
we went to like FDR's home.
Love Poughkeepsie, man. It reminded me of home.
That's funny. I've never felt the need to go anywhere for history. I like
Yeah?
learning about it. Yeah, I never like went to a site.
I love going to, yeah, me and Bobby last year, we just, on a whim, just drove up to Albany. That's where, like, Martin Van Buren's home is. We
Yeah.
just went and visited that.
Just to
Old
see
Kinder
Martin Van Buren's home.
Yep.
Is there anything there?
I mean, there's, like, interesting stuff.
Is he even old enough that there's stuff that you don't recognize? Like, it'd be really fun. Like, oh, that was Martin Van Buren's rotary phone. That was
Or
really
just,
cool.
I mean, no, he before phones.
Yeah, that's good.
And like the size of the bed was like really small, and
Because he was
yeah,
only 5'6", which back then wasn't very tall.
right. But I mean, it is interesting when because I was in Israel last year, and whenever I go to stuff in like the U.S., it's kind of like I was in San Antonio. I saw the Alamo and these like missions that are like 400 or 500 years old. You go to Israel, there's buildings that are like 3,000 years old.
Yeah, no, it gets up there. That
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I never went to my family's gone. I never went to Israel. I'm waiting for things to settle down a little.
Yeah,
It should be soon.
yeah. I think
50,
you'll be able
60
to go
years?
any day now.
Yeah.
It's also just a really long flight. It's just
Yeah.
barely worth it.
I got it was my last year for Birthright, and I got to do
Yeah.
a free trip. And
Matt's 19.
Yeah.
The thing about so I have to ask, how much fun was the end where they have to proselytize to you about joining the Israeli army?
They didn't.
Matt
Oh, they didn't
signed
even
up.
bother.
No.
Usually that's the one thing that comes with is that they have to sit you down and be like, all right, you owe us.
No, I was kind of looking for the propaganda because I thought it'd be funny to see like what
Yeah.
they. I think so. They my group was 32 was the maximum age. They're now moving it back down to 26.
Yep.
It had been
After
26.
Matt.
I think they moved it up for a while because they were like, we can get more people. And they realized people who are older are just going there for the free trip and aren't actually going to be indoctrinated in any way.
Yeah, there's no chance.
Yeah, if you're in your 30s, who's
Yeah.
gonna fucking?
Your
Join the
brain
army.
already like formed
Yeah.
and impervious to propaganda.
Hey, want to join a war that's going to go on forever?
Yeah.
The forever war.
For the most part, I didn't really. I feel like some people they would talk a little bit about just what was going on, kind of generally, and then some people could talk and they would like get more into it. And I just was never around the people who were like, you know what I'm going to do with my breakfast in Israel? Sit at a table and discuss the Palestinian crisis. I was just hanging out, meeting new people, and joking around and hanging out, going out drinking.
That's fun.
But there was there were a few Israelis that were on our trip also, and I roomed with one of them. And talking to him, like night before we go to bed, he would ask us questions about like Jews in America and how you guys see certain things, and those were like interesting conversations. It seems like in Israel they think it's kind of fucked up what they do to Palestinians.
Yeah, a good percentage of them do.
Yeah.
Also, you're probably interacting with people under 50.
Yeah.
So the chances of them not agreeing, like that's what the funny thing about it is, like I know so many people, even like related to ones who will talk about any disagreeing with the right wing of Israel as being anti-Jewish, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's half of Israel.
Yeah.
Like, you're saying that half of Israel hates Jews? Now,
Well,
okay,
they have to be around
maybe.
them all the time.
Yeah,
So.
they would know. They know better than anyone.
Yeah.
They hate themselves. They have the right to
Yeah.
hate everyone else.
Yeah, it's interesting because talking to an Israeli, they would like, but the thing that they have is they've lived in Israel their whole life. Their parents have lived there, so they do want Israel to exist.
Yeah. No, we want it
Yeah.
to exist. It's just, it doesn't have to only exist under Netanyahu.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is interesting that because on like one hand, yeah, people saying anytime you say anything and pro-Palestinian is anti-Semitic is not true, but anytime there is like a hashtag Free Palestine, anti-Semitic crimes do like go up
Well,
because people are idiots.
So you
Well,
thought
yeah.
that the propaganda didn't work, Dave, but clearly it has.
No, I'm just saying in general, a lot of times when something gets trending on Twitter and then there's a rise in violence, like when people are like, don't say that the coronavirus came from China because then Asian hate is on the rise. I'm like, yeah, no matter what you say, idiots are going to then be violent. It doesn't mean you can't still say a thing.
well, but you are saying that it does sort of cause an uptick. But it's like,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean you can't say, hey, we got real problems here we have to talk about.
Yeah, you can't not talk about a problem because some idiot's going to hear it and be like, that means I have to go do violence now.
Look, it doesn't take much for people to hate Jews.
Yes.
Like there are a lot of people who are white knuckling not hating the Jews every second of the day, and they're just waiting for just someone to cough and just start yelling Jews. Like it doesn't
Joe, Bobby,
take much.
are you okay?
I feel like we're surrounded.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. Like
Yeah.
people, it's funny how how crazy people have the crazy ideas. They will like schizophrenia. It can make you have the wildest, most nonsensical ideas. Yet they all seem to be the same one. They all seem. How is all these crazy people all
Who in
coalesce
specific are you talking about right now?
around
Dave?
the same subject of hating Jews? Even if you're a great thinker, even if you're someone who's made great hit songs year after year, albums that revolutionized various genres of music. Once they go crazy, they all sound like the exact same person.
Can you talk?
You're talking about MC Hammer.
Yes,
Damn.
it is true that MC Hammer in the 90s, in the late 90s, posted on his Friendster account that he hated me.
Yeah.
And It's Hammer Time is actually a dog whistle.
Is it?
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
what?
For communism. MC Hammer and Sickle. Yeah. Can you talk about being in the Instagram story?
Oh yeah, I got no reason I can't talk
so,
about it.
Kanye, he reposted like a post from you. Is that what it
No,
was?
what happened was, so Kanye was on Instagram claiming
West?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was claiming that Pete had been sending like nude pictures of him like in bed with his wife or something like that. That just was he was just implying something that wasn't really what really happened. So Pete just posted the actual conversation he was referring to show what it really was. That it was him being like, sort of trying to like bully him, be like, "Where are you right now?" And Pete's like, "I'm in bed with your wife," and it was just a picture of Pete alone. So the idea that it was like he was trying to act like a victim when it was like it was literally just more of him just trying to harass people.
And Pete doesn't have Instagram, so he had you post.
So Pete asked me to post it because he doesn't have Instagram, and I posted it from my account just to clear up what this argument was. And Kanye, became obsessed with me after that and posted a bunch of pictures of me on his Instagram.
Could it be anything about you specifically that he was obsessed with?
At the time, he seemed to have no specific grudges against anyone who looks or grew up like me or has my specific allergies or problems with digestion. So he posted a bunch, and then one of them was him, like, I guess, trying to contact a pretty inept investigator, because he was asking him to send me his address. He was like, what's this guy's address? So he's like posting to his Instagram, what is Dave Sirus's address? And the guy wrote back, he posted what my actual address and then blacked it over like with a magic marker, but not completely opaque. So all you had to do was raise the brightness of your phone to see the numbers of my address. And then he also wrote, he lived in Atlantic City. He's always lived in apartments with roommates. Now, neither of those were true. I never lived in Atlantic City. I hadn't had a roommate in like 7 years. But I'm not going to correct his investigator.
Right. Can you imagine if you got so in your ego, you're like, I haven't had a roommate in 7 years, and he's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Figured out where you actually live based
You're
on
just such a
information.
stickler for the details. You're like, actually, those numbers are off. I actually live on this street.
Yeah, and it was crazy because like before that had happened, I was getting like one or two like crazy people trying to like DM me, like yelling at me for being friends with the person who broke up his marriage. But then after that, of course, it was like hundreds of people. A lot of them were death threats because they had the address and but it also was like, if you saw the wording of these death threats, you would not be concerned. They all sounded like literal 9-year-olds.
Joe, you got to spell check next time.
No, come on. You know how they sounded. Come on.
Were you doing your sound check again?
No, but they were probably like, "We gonna kill you."
You're like,
Was that what it was? Like,
could you
we
at
gon- we
least
gon-
Googled Zionist to see how it was spelled first?
There was one person who contacts me and they go, "Hey, how come you got so many Instagram followers after the Kanye thing?" And I said, I was like, well, if a very famous person posted about me a bunch of times, you're bound to get a few new followers. And they wrote back, "Fuck you, you fucking phony." And I'm thinking like,
This is Holden Caulfield.
like what is? And I'm like, what is phony about that?
Yeah.
Like I'm literally answering a stranger's question.
Yeah.
Completely, like it was just showed like a kind of lack of being good at this. And I said, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. Just being like, fuck you. And they wrote back all caps with like 20 exclamation points. My feelings are boiling.
That's the name of the episode, by the way.
My feelings are boiling.
And that's when I was like, oh my God, these are fucking 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
These are like, I was like, fuck, these are all literal children.
Yeah.
Trying to like, and like, I can't, honestly, I was a little disappointed in the hate speech because they were so easy to like make, like they were so all the same really depressed MAGA hip hop fan.
Yeah.
Who clearly just wanted to talk to someone.
You kind of almost want there to be like a back and forth, like you want a worthy adversary.
Yeah, honestly. Even when this one fan of his, who's an open micer in LA, tried to show up at this roast battle I was judging. It was online.
Yeah.
It was like an online roast battle. And she shows up and she's trying to like disrupt it. And it was the most bizarre thing because this was someone who actually is an open micer but does comedy. And as soon as she had the chance to like say her piece, it was just deer in headlights. Yeah, and it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, you've never had to do this like in real time, have you?
Oh yeah, a lot of the people, the keyboard warriors.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been really funny how many of like the exact same person tries to say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And they all are just diagnosable within seconds.
Yeah, it is interesting that people with good grammar don't give death threats a lot of the time, it seems.
Yeah, and it's like it's really hard to believe that you're. I mean, I know that like yes, a lot of people we don't have a lot of respect for their intelligence do end up getting guns and doing terrible things, but it's just
trans people.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that in a second.
One thing at a time, Matthew.
Right.
I'm not getting Me Too'd off this show.
Right.
That would be awful for you, but actually great for us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The one way you're getting fucking seen on this show.
Yeah.
No, but like it's just one of those things where it's just like every time you get these messages, you just be like, you know what? I really find it hard to believe that I'm going to be the reason you leave the house for the first time this year.
Yeah.
It's like no one's buying it. But yeah, no. You're referring, of course, to the trans man.
Yes.
Who committed
Trans
that.
men are men. Now I believe it. As they're committing shit. Once they're shooting people in public, that's as masculine as it gets.
I will say this. A lot of Republicans, when they heard trans, all assumed it was a trans woman.
Yeah.
Someone who was born with who was born with a male sexual
male,
organs,
trans woman,
but is
yeah.
a woman. They all jumped on that, saying, see, they're not women. Only men would do this. And then it turned out to be
the other way.
a trans man, and they had to shut the fuck up because
what-
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
It actually backed up the
Exactly.
idea that like it is a real. It's not just a choice; it's a fucking identity.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that we're using this mass murder as a reason to
It's
celebrate
so-
the proof.
yeah.
Like that is the sickest thing ever. That like
Well, there is something like it's funny that for a long time, for most of my life, anytime there was a new shooting, it was like holy shit. It was a bit. I used to open up Fight Club. When there was a shooting, I would open it up with the show. With more shots will be fired here than at a gay nightclub in Orlando.
But now
or
it's
whatever it
hacky.
was.
Now they yeah.
I'd have to do it every week.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do it anymore.
No,
it happened too often. But so now it's like you see a thing where it's like. 40 days into the year, there's 35 mass shootings already, and so we just don't hear about them anymore. And then a trans person does it, like that's how we get to hear about one again.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. I tweeted when it first happened because there's this thing on Twitter that I've talked about on Twitter. Like even when I used to tweet more because now obviously I'm going to stop. Because well, it gives it just basically it's the thing where like you have to pay for your check mark and to be in people's feeds, and it's like fuck.
Really? Has it
Yeah, now
gotten
they're saying
there?
if you don't pay for the check mark, you don't get to be in the feed anymore, which is like oh fuck you.
Yeah,
That's wild.
Yeah. So fuck. Where was I?
about
Thing
the
that
trans
happens
shooter.
on Twitter a lot.
Yeah. Something that happens on Twitter a lot is that like people will say that whenever someone dies suddenly, they will always say the person died of COVID vaccine.
Oh yeah,
And then whenever someone's a murderer, they will say the person was trans.
yeah.
So like when that woman, there was a young woman who was killed in Mexico weeks ago by her friend, by like a friend of hers, apparently, like beaten to
Adios
death. It
mio.
was on video. It was a horrible thing. And people lied and said that her killer was a trans woman. It was just a regular woman.
Right.
So before they knew this woman, before they knew this man was trans, there were people already posting lies claiming it was using like an old meme of a trans woman, and saying it was a trans woman.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I was saying like, oh, that's so stupid, because I was used to that. And I tweeted at the time, the only thing I know about this shooter is that Republicans won't give a shit about it unless she has a penis.
And then
it was like, oh fuck, I gotta take this down, because if I had said that after knowing that, that's a different joke that I wouldn't have made. I was trying to just say like they
jokingly
don't,
like fucking another shooting. I guess Republicans will care if it's a trans person. It's
Yes!
a trans person.
yeah, oh shit, okay, never mind that one.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need that to be added.
It is funny that there's a. Are you familiar with Aubrey Huff, the baseball player? Because he's
don't think so.
He's like does a lot of alt-right stuff on Twitter. He was like decent, good to above average player.
Nice.
Who got really into tweeting when Trump was in office about how awesome he thinks Trump is. To like posting pictures with his guns and everything, and like like a soccer player collapsed during a game, and he just like shared the story with the caption "safe" and about the vaccine.
Effective.
Safe and effective.
Literally every person who died then became. It's the stupidest goddamn attempt. Because I remember when Jack Knight killed himself.
Yeah.
People were saying it was the vaccine. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I remember like tweeting at people like, how can you live with yourself being a person who lies about someone who died yesterday?
Yeah. I have my old college roommate jumped off of FIT and on the way down got vaccinated, and that's what killed him before he hit the ground.
Yeah.
No, come on, that's not true. Matt's friend was black. He would never get vaccinated.
Right.
Half the people I know, when I hear stories about someone saying like, "What this person got the shot, and then their heart rate started racing, and the shot was so dangerous, their heart rate started jumping off the charts seconds before they got it." Like that.
That's anxiety.
Yeah. Like it's so funny how important it is to them to be able to lie people out of getting vaccinated. Like, how did you end up like this?
I was really sick, like the day after I got the vaccine, and the day after, and when I got the booster. But it was weird because it was like the most sick I've been, and then within a day, not be sick at all anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's how it works, and that means it was effective. Like it just screw it. It worked. I mean the statistics right now about like vax versus unvax in terms of death, it's indisputable. It's been years now. We can now see exactly how much it is. I actually just saw it. If you're like 55 years old, 8 out of every 100,000 unvaccinated people with COVID will die.
Yeah.
But if you're vaccinated, you have 20 times higher chance of living.
Well, I bet you didn't know. We actually have Brett Weinstein here to dispute that now.
He comes out with a steel chair.
Oh my God, it's Brett Weinstein. Oh my God.
He's been doing his own research, JR.
I got the 4th shot.
4th.
Oh, damn.
And then I missed work anyway for getting a false positive.
Yeah.
I got a false positive.
I think
after
I got the there was the first shot that was like 2,
Yeah.
I think, and then I got a booster.
Yeah, and then I got another one of those. I got the 4th one.
I need
damn.
every
Went all
time.
out.
Yeah, every time it's happened, it's just a if it will make any part of my life easier to do, I will do it, and if not, I'm just not going to leave the house to do it.
Well, I only got it because I heard it makes you sterile.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I got the first one because I went to a Yankee game, and the line for vaccinated was way shorter than the line for unvaccinated, and that was like within the month.
Really?
Well, it was this was like April 2021. So it had just like been rolled out.
Yeah.
And the people who were vaccinated already just had to show a thing and go through, and the unvaccinated there was a longer line because it wasn't that like and also there were like at I went to a Knicks game, and if you were vaccinated, the seats there were like section for vaccinated and unvaccinated. It was better seats if you were vaccinated. So I'm like, fuck, I'm getting vaccinated.
Oh wow.
Matt, this sounds a little bit like, I don't know, like you're segregating two different types of people,
Yeah.
vaccinated and unvaccinated.
Well, as the listeners know, I've always been in favor of segregation.
Well, just because you're separating them doesn't mean there isn't equality.
yeah,
right, if it's
separate but
equal.
equal. Right. Yeah. There was a Supreme Court case about that.
There was. It was about the COVID vaccine.
Yes.
I got vaccinated early because I have a dealer's choice of pre-existing conditions.
Nice.
What'd
you go with?
Lyme.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm a riot girl. I have Lyme disease,
nice.
so I got to get that early. I don't really have a lot of effects from it, but I have the goddamn disease, so they had to give it to me.
Yeah. But anyway, we were talking about Twitter. And what were we talking about before Twitter?
Ooh.
I'm usually good at remembering where we were at.
Bullying.
Before, oh yeah, so
Well, yeah, they kept. Yeah, they said that.
the shooting.
They said that. Yeah, so they said they lied first and said the shooter was trans,
Right.
and then found out that he was using male pronouns. Now,
Yeah.
all they heard was that he did list himself as he, him
Yeah.
on Twitter. And here's the one thing to remember. Now, I assume that is legitimate. That's true. But also remember, the guy who shot up that gay bar said that he
Pulse
used
nightclub or
no the next one where he got the shit kicked out of him by a drag queen and a special forces
That's so
retired guy.
embarrassing, dude.
to get beat up by a drag.
No, remember
drag
that-
queen
remember-
dropped her book from the reading she was doing to 8-year-old
Yeah.
children, ruining the future of America.
Yeah.
To go and beat up a shooter.
Right, that guy, the guy, like a huge guy, went into that gay nightclub this year and got choked out and beaten by a retired special forces guy who was there with his daughter. He wasn't even gay, which disappointed me. I wanted it very much to
Right.
be like just a Captain America-looking
Yeah.
gay guy who just effortlessly kicked the shit out of this guy. But no, it was like this older retired guy who was there with his daughter and his daughter's prom date, who is now her best friend and a drag queen. And then him and one of the drag queens beat the shit out of this guy.
Sick.
That guy then started telling people he was trans, and everyone was like, "Fuck you!" No one's buying. Like, he wasn't. It was just
Yeah.
he was literally just being like, hey, it's not a hate crime.
Yeah.
I'm a they. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
I'm a they.
Like on some level, you can't like just like let that guy just have his way and just automatically. Oh no, we need to segregate him now.
Do you think if you kill a non-binary person in a shooting, they'll call it a mass shooting because they say you killed them instead of him or her?
Oh, come on, Matthew.
Now you're going to hell.
Somebody lost
Now
their
you
lives.
have crossed
Yeah.
a line.
I did at first think that the story was I don't know if I'd seen it online where I thought it was a biological man to female,
Right, a trans woman.
Yeah,
the
a
slightly
trans woman.
hotter of the two.
The slightly hotter of the two. I thought it was, and my first thought was, I was like, this is like what's happening in sports, where you get these men transition to becoming women and being the best. Like, he would have been maybe the 500th ranked shooter as a man, but as a woman, he's the number 1 ranked mass shooter.
I mean, the truth is, had it been a trans woman, the right would have had a field day with this.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to, but
They're
it just
still
doesn't
try-
track.
They're still trying to. I mean, yeah, it's tough. Where
Yeah,
if
Marjorie
they're-
Taylor Greene is trying because she's a
Yeah,
fucking.
trying to just say it's like the it's mental illness, and it's like, well, there's plenty of people who shoot up schools that aren't trans.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very delicate thing too because they want to be like anti-trans, but they also want to be pro-gun. So they
Right.
want to limit trans people's
Right,
freedom,
to
but
get a
not
gun.
not at the risk of guns, which
Right.
is like it's such an interesting conundrum that they're
Well, I
in.
mean, look, it happened in Tennessee.
So, yeah,
where-
trans people, if you want your rights, you got to take up arms against your government
Yes.
and start shooting up schools, hospitals, whatever it takes until these Republicans realize that the only way out is to get rid of guns entirely.
And by the way, you know what's funny about this? Do you have any idea how much work it takes for a trans person to get on hormones? How many hoops their doctors make them go through? Like first you
Yeah.
have to start dressing. How many ways you have to show the commitment that this isn't like something not taken seriously?
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
a little bit harder than getting a gun.
yeah. Meanwhile, I mean, in Tennessee, like, remember this person, what their parents thought they were crazy, basically, and would never have let them have a gun. But there was nothing that this is one of those states where they go out of their way to say we will not infringe this at all. Just because you're mentally ill doesn't mean you lose your Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Do you think if our founding fathers were trans, we wouldn't be in this situation right now?
They kind of look trans, dude, with the wigs and
wearing
the high
a fucking
heels.
wig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking powder in your face and shit. What's up with that?
Alexandra Hamilton.
We got to put like that fucking female filter on the founding fathers to see
Oh,
what they
yeah.
look like. The founding mom.
I'll answer that. Ugly.
Yeah.
Everyone will be disgusting except for Franklin Pierce because he was a handsome
I mean, he wasn't
man.
really a founding father, but
Right. But I figured we were going to do all the
just all presidents. Yeah,
I was thinking.
If
yeah,
we're
I
just
was
doing
thinking
all the presidents as a
yeah.
female, Franklin Pierce would be a hot girl.
I mean, if we're talking about founding fathers,
Yeah.
Madison was pretty slight.
Yeah.
Madison would be a hot chick because he's short.
Yeah, Madison.
So as a woman,
Madison
not
was a little twinkie. He could probably.
Yeah.
100 pounds.
Madison would be the one dancing at the parade in a cocksock.
Andrea Jackson. Andrew
Uh-huh.
Jackson. She'd like rip your dick off.
Was he in a
I'd
wheelchair?
pay her to do that.
No, Andrew Jackson wasn't in a wheelchair.
Right.
Maybe late in life. I think late in life he might have been.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Taft would have been a BBW.
Yeah.
She would have been like Lizzo looking.
Yeah, this is fun. We did a thing a few weeks ago where we went through every president and see what and guess what porn they would be into if they were like alive in the porn era. I like this. Who'd be a hot chick as a president? Thing is,
Hot
any
chick president.
any like historic figures, especially from like 1800s, 1700s, before like modern bathing, any pictures we see of them, they were way uglier in person. Just like they didn't have modern dental hygiene. They didn't have toothbrushes at a certain. If you go back
Yeah.
even 300 years.
Yeah, but I love a stinky pussy, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not that stinky. Not colonial stinky.
Yeah.
Not colonial stinky.
No,
Yeah.
those Bob, you're not understanding. Those people bathed so infrequently that you wouldn't even be able to smell someone's vagina. There were too many other smells that would be overpowering it.
Yeah.
You
Oh, and
understand-
I'm easily distracted, so that's not going to
It
work.
would be the number of different smells that would be way more powerful. You would never even get to know. That's
I've
the
seen,
sense.
yeah, I've seen like they've done pictures of like what every president in history would look like as a modern president. I want to.
What every president's dick would look like if they washed regularly.
There you go. Yeah, who else would be a hot chick? James
Lincoln would have been like a tall, lanky.
James
bitch.
Buchanan was like almost certainly gay, but I don't know if he was like hot.
Lincoln would have looked like Cher,
I could see that.
just like a fucking tall, lanky, goofy.
If I
looking
could
woman.
turn back time to 4 and
If I
7
could turn
years
back
ago.
time, I stopped that man from shooting me in the head.
For some reason, Lincoln as a woman feels very meth head.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that.
I don't know why, but if suddenly you picture Lincoln's face in a wig and like a torn dress, and you just immediately think Breaking
The
Bad.
Yeah.
cheekbones.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
There's
I could see that.
something weird there.
He was
Yeah.
a jokester. He liked to joke around.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
You know who would have made a hot chick? Honestly,
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Number one, heart of gold.
Yeah.
Number two, really think about Jimmy Carter's face.
Yeah.
He's got a very kind of matronly. I feel like Jimmy Carter would have made a great queen.
Yeah.
But vanilla as hell. Like Jane Carter, she's not doing any butt stuff.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
why you're 100% wrong. Because Jimmy Carter was the most honestly generous person that we've ever had as a president.
Yeah.
He spent his entire life building houses he was the absolutely, I'd say, the most just naturally decent person. He would suck your dick like there was nothing more important in the world.
Jimmy Carter would do anything for the nut.
Jimmy Carter was a giver and he was eager.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say is. Thank God he's still alive. Jimmy Carter will.
As
suck
of this
your-
recording.
we did.
This does come out on Sunday.
As long as
it is touch and go.
by the
That's
time
true.
this airs, Jimmy Carter would have been murdered by a trans man.
That's how Jimmy Carter dies from being assassinated.
There's like a fucking guild of like trans assassins throughout
Yeah.
the world. That's fucking awesome.
That would be so fucking funny if Jimmy Carter was murdered because people wouldn't even know it for like a full 24 hours. They'd be like, "No, you retard, he died in hospice." They're like, "Yeah, because someone snuck a gun in."
Yeah.
What if they fucking got him with a blow dart?
Yeah.
Trans person just fucking rolls up, fucking.
Hey, I lived in one of those shitty houses you
Yeah.
fucking tried to build.
Yeah,
at 98 years old.
98-year-old man building a house. Trans person just murders him.
Shooting Jimmy Carter. Habitat for Humanity.
Would you rather be killed by a trans man or a trans woman? This is important.
Shot or like smothered to death?
However, you can choose
Okay.
their method of murder.
Face fucked to
Face
death
fucked
with a
to death.
penis. Would you prefer it was constructed or all natural?
Trans man or trans woman? It's tough. Who would you rather be killed by?
I just hope it happens soon.
Yeah.
It will.
I think whichever gets more people like looking bad on Twitter. Like I like the idea that Republicans went after it so hard and then ended up looking like idiots.
Hey guys, I just got back in the room. What are we talking about?
Yeah. What about Grant? Do you think Grant would be a hot chick?
Well,
Grant actually, I do like an in shape woman. I like
Yeah.
I like an athletic type. So
Ooh,
yes.
Theodore Roosevelt is a woman then.
Yes. Well, Teddy.
She'd be
She'd
kind
be
of
like a power lifter.
yeah, I was saying
type.
she'd be a
Fucking-
muscle mommy.
Yeah.
She'd
Yeah.
be
Yeah. I
in the
like that.
BBCs
I like
for
that.
sure.
Theodore Roosevelt's a muscle mommy.
What about JFK?
JFK'd be a hot girl.
JFK would be like that cougar fucking
Yeah.
looking.
JFK would be like one of the girls at a party playing Whiplash with Dave Sirus.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, JFK and Clinton, you have to is just raises the question: if they were whores as men,
Yes.
would it translate to them as women?
Yeah, but they would be empowered.
Because those are the biggest whores of the presidents, right? Is there anyone? Are there any other closet whores?
Warren
the-
Harding was like a big
Yeah,
one.
that's true.
Yeah.
Warren Harding.
Jerry.
I actually
Jerry,
wrote
yeah.
this joke before I found out it was literally true
Yeah.
years ago. I wrote that Warren Harding used to have prostitutes in his cabinet, not advisors. He literally hid them in cabinets.
Yes.
And then it turns out that actually happened
Yeah.
once, where his wife caught him having sex with one of his mistresses.
Yeah.
In a White House like closet.
Yeah, Lyndon Johnson was a big whore also.
Love to show people his penis. Love to
Yes.
slap it out in the middle of a meeting.
Yep.
That would be
Felt
like
it
a,
punctuated his points well.
Yeah.
That would be like a woman whipping out her big old titties.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
that's why
would
we need
be ready for a big-titted president?
I think so.
That's why we need. Yeah, if we have a female president, she's got to have medium-sized tits first. We got to graduate to big-titted president.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like
we
Nancy
already
Pe-
had. We did have William Taft already, though. We've had a big-titted.
Her
president.
campaign speech is "My eyes are up here."
Yeah.
Or a slogan.
I mean,
rather.
the funny thing is, we did, America did vote, got more votes for Hillary than Trump, and she never shows it off, but Hillary has a rack.
Yeah.
Hillary
like a
has-
Pelosi.
Hillary has, I would say Hillary has a Pelosi level rack on her.
Really?
She has a very nice bosom
Why did she
For-
cover it up?
because she's respectable. Because
Come
she's
on.
got
Yeah,
class.
well, we see
Hillary,
what that
piece
got
of
her.
shit. Clearly not gonna happen. Like even when America wants you, we don't get you. Show it off, baby girl.
Well, I mean,
Come on.
that raises an important question. Would that have made the difference?
Absolutely.
I think so.
If Hillary had shown off the girls more?
Yeah.
imagine
If
during
I
I
this,
s-
hope you learned it, ladies. I hope you learned a lesson. Four
Yeah.
guys figured it out again.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine during this speech, like Trump is talking and Hillary's just behind him with her big titties out,
Yeah.
and then afterwards he's like, I didn't know what to say. I felt so intimidated.
Yeah.
She was standing behind me with those huge.
I would have
titties.
completely forgotten about the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton funds her next presidential campaign run through OnlyFans.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
How do you think at some point we're gonna have a president who has an OnlyFans?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible we might end up with a president who once had an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I think you're right, though. America would definitely first want to elect a flatter president because we're afraid of like sexuality.
We did a half black president
Yeah,
before.
we're not-
Yeah, we had to ease ourselves into things.
Yeah, just like I feel like America is definitely ready for a gay president, but we both know only one kind of gay president. Like America's ready for a very buttoned up Pete Buttigieg type gay president.
Yeah.
America will not be ready for a
Jack
swish-
from Will and Grace.
Yeah, will not be ready for a
I would even say,
swishy femme president for 1,000 years.
Yeah, like
Like
a
I-
John Waters type fucking.
I just
Yeah.
do not believe in our country. We will never get over that.
Yeah.
It's like they'll be like, "Hey, you can have sex as long." They'll be like, "We need to know the president is a top." Like people
Yeah.
will lose their minds.
Yeah. What about trans man or trans woman president first?
trans woman. Definitely a trans woman before.
What
a
do you think
trans
America
man.
goes first?
It would be so funny if there was like a woman running for president,
Yeah.
and there's more. And like, let's say the Democrats pick a woman again.
Yeah.
And then the Republicans just come up with a trans man.
Caitlyn Jenner.
That's
Or not
a trans woman.
Trans woman.
That's
but
a
I'm
trans
just saying
woman.
A trans
Well,
Republican trans.
it actually
person.
raises a very interesting question, actually, of what is the right of America more uncomfortable with?
Yeah.
Someone that they think is really a man who they think just wants to be a woman, which to them is the most confusing thing in the world, or someone they still think is a woman, and the fact and that they think just wants to be a man, and they're just like, well, they're right, but they're still a woman. Like, I feel like, what do they hate more?
I think I think trans man is less threatening because there's like the fear of being tricked. I think is a big thing for them.
I think the latent just sort of fear, like the tangential kind of homophobia would make them like they like. I feel like right people are just they're angry at trans women, because they're just like, what are you doing? You won. Why would you switch sides?
Yeah, that's the thing.
We won.
Yeah, I feel like they have more of a problem with gay men than lesbians.
100%.
So I think then that's the way to. So I think in general they have more of a problem with someone who's biologically male doing something as opposed to just being the straight white guy.
You know my problem with trans women.
What is that?
You spend like $50,000 fucking getting a fake pussy, getting titties, getting fucking hair plugs, all that shit.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to give me a taste?
Yeah.
Come on, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Come on, come on over here, baby. I ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna cost you $50,000.
Look, see, Finn likes it.
Joe, you don't buy a Ferrari to drive it into a ditch.
Yeah, but you should give your friend a ride every now and again. I mean, I'm here at the bus stop, man. You're gonna drive by in a Ferrari? Come on. That's the problem with the wealth distribution in America.
What do you think? Trans or non-binary president first?
I mean,
Well, non-binary could run for both parties.
Ooh.
I think it'll be like a person will say they're non-binary, but they're not actually.
Will they run as a
Oh,
Republican?
no one would do that, Joseph.
Yeah.
I've done that though, Bobby.
Oh, that's
I've
true.
done that.
they
I've
run-
done that to get on terrible comedy shows.
What about running as a Republican but identifying as a Democrat?
Ooh. Matthew, you've done it again.
I figured it out.
That's definitely a script that you could pitch to the Daily Wire.
Oh, that Ben Shapiro would do a movie about that for sure.
Yeah, right in between Roseanne Barr specials.
Yes.
Now,
I
did
feel-
you see that John Goodman begged Roseanne Barr for forgiveness? And he said it was wrong of him not to stand by her.
Really?
That's the newest thing, bud.
Yeah. You hear
Roseanne's
that?
back, baby.
I could understand the argument of like, well, I would only call someone an ape if I was sure they weren't black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, obviously that's just like a terribly racist thing to say if they
Why?
are black. I won't get into it now, Joseph, but a lot of people don't like it.
Really?
If you look at her, she does look like very light skinned. Like if you showed me a picture of her and said, guess this person's race, I may have said Hispanic or possibly even white.
Well, and then Roseanne clearly apologized when she made the compliment by saying, "I thought the bitch was white." yeah. And it's like that's like the nicest fucking thing. That's honestly that's the nicest thing you can say to a black person.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, you sound white." Or like saying a black person sounds white, a very nice thing to say.
High
But saying they
compliment.
mistaking them as a white person,
Yeah. Telling them they're articulate and well spoken, they love that.
They love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. It's interesting because I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. Howard Cosell got in trouble back in the day for calling a running back. Look at the little monkey run. But there was a documentary and they played a clip of him saying that about a white running back too. It was just like little monkey was just like a term of affection he used.
It's a weird thing to just call a random person, but it is one of those things where it's like, he probably did not mean it at all the way people assumed.
I think it's like
But also, he didn't really
generational
get in
thing.
trouble for it in his day, so.
Yeah, I think it was a thing that caused some controversy. But in general, when I watched the Willie Mays documentary back, and they talk about controversy and things that people were mad about. But any controversy back then was people he had a bag of letters, which is still 1/10 of the amount of tweets you get now.
Yeah. Well, it's the same way I felt the first time I was watching a football game and I heard a commentator not know the guy's name, and so he just said, "Oh, that's a great pass from Mahomes over there," and then I realized that was his name.
Oh,
I thought,
Yeah, there is actually a player named Patrick Mahomes.
Oh shit.
And it just always sounds like a white guy just can't remember a black guy's name. Is what it always.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
And his brother.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Why would the brother have a different last name?
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
do better.
Oh,
No,
no.
his brother is Jackson Mahomes, who like is hated because he TikToks all the time from the sidelines.
Oh, okay.
And like him and his girlfriend, they like, and Patrick Mahomes' wife, I think, does some TikToks too. Patrick Mahomes is like, I think that's what happens when an athlete is kind of they're very good at protecting their image that he just seems like a nice guy. And I'm not even saying he like is shitty and is protecting his image. He seems genuinely like a nice guy, and he's a great player, and there's not much to really go after him for. He's got a weird voice, and he makes jokes about it. So they just got to find, like, his brother does something kind of unlikable. That's how we get him.
That's why we first started hating Hillary Clinton, because they were like, this Bill Clinton is untouchable. They're like, we got to focus on his wife.
Yeah.
The disparity in charisma, though, is amazing.
Yeah. Well, they say that she's great, like, in person, and he's great in front of a crowd.
She fucking killed it on Broad City.
What's in the name, dude?
Yeah. I'm just
so-
glad. I'm just glad that's the way you used Hillary Clinton and kill in the same sentence.
What? Oh, well, she also killed that one dictator. But that was fucking cool. That was cool. Man, actually, she's done a lot, dude. She has
Yeah.
a Comedy Central credit. She's killed people, dude.
All I know is that, like, people talk about Hillary Clinton killing some guy over a business deal, and it's like every time it happens on a Netflix documentary, you fucking celebrate it.
Yeah.
But when a woman who's actually accomplished something in real life does it for
Yeah.
reasons that we don't need to know about, everyone gets all judgy.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
is.
funny to think about like the 2 or 3 like conspiracies where she killed somebody, but she was the Secretary of State under Obama. So she has killed many, many, many people.
Through drone strikes.
Yes, that is true.
And it's cool because, like, her boss was a Muslim. And that's a fucking rare thing to do, too, dude. So she's like a fucking progressive-ass fucking woman, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things Kanye used to try to get people to hate me.
What?
Was that I think he literally said probably voted for Hillary, and it's like,
That's such a funny thing to say about you, who wouldn't deny that for a second.
well,
Like
neither would-
probably. It's like an.
yeah, no shit.
Like, what other option? What choice did you have?
Like, it's just like, who does he think he's like? Who does he think he's appealing to when he's like, this guy didn't vote for Trump,
Yeah.
so run him out of Hollywood, everybody.
even though he's so like in his mind, the worst thing you can say about someone is that they voted for Hillary.
Yeah.
But even as mad at you as he still is like qualifying it with fucking probably voted for Hillary.
Yeah.
He probably
doesn't-
he thinks he's being a lawyer in that
Yeah.
moment. He thinks it's like allegedly.
Yeah.
He's like, can't get me for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, how many people were just recently just like, wait, why can't I get an abortion? And if they took long enough to find out, it was pretty much exactly that, because you couldn't lift a finger to
Yeah.
vote for that lady you were so much better than.
I do like the idea of people who are just realizing it and going, wait, I can't get an abortion. The idea of like the realization someone's having.
My
is that-
actions had consequences.
Yeah.
There's a downside to letting an insane Dr. Moreau-like orangutan become president.
Yeah. Although
Well,
I mean, any Republican that probably would have happened, right?
Not
Or do
any-
you think that was a uniquely?
Oh no,
Trump
no,
thing?
that was that would have happened with pretty much any Republican.
Yeah.
Yes, it would have. Partially though, it is fair to say it was illegitimate because when they let Gorsuch not take Obama's. Obama had a year left in his term. He should have been allowed to have a Supreme Court justice. And when they took that from him and allowed it to be Gorsuch instead of his pick, the deal was we will do the same if the next president gets one while they're up for re-election, or while they're about to leave. And of course, Trump got his with a month left and took it anyway. So that was So Amy Coney Barrett, whatever her personal beliefs are, accepted stolen property. And is very arguably an illegitimate judge.
It's illegitimate. It's one of those it was kind of like an agreement, but legally, can they do anything about it? Or it was one of those you promised. It's like, all right, what are you going to do about it?
Well, what it means is that what they could do about it is the next time the Democrats are in control of the Senate and a Republican president has Supreme Court justice, that will never ever happen again.
Yeah,
They're saying we are going to change. We are going to fundamentally change the way the United States government works, which is from now on, presidents only get to nominate justices when they control the
Had
Senate.
it been historically, I'm not super.
This has never happened before.
Yeah.
So
This never ever. There has never been a
I do know.
Congress.
Didn't
So
FDR
no way.
pack the court, right?
There has never been. Well, I don't think he changed the number of justices.
I think
he?
that we
he
did
cha-
at one point go up, and then it went back down to 9.
Okay, it went back down. I mean, that's the thing. You're opening the door to that. Say, well, that's legal too.
Yeah.
But yes, no president until Obama had ever been treated like up until then. All presidents were given 5/5 of their power.
Yeah.
Until Obama, they decided to give him a lower amount of it.
Yeah.
3/5.
3/5.
Yes. Thank you for.
Thanks for explaining that one for us.
Sure, because like when slaves had the right to vote,
Yeah.
they weren't given like a regular vote like you or I.
They weren't.
No.
Joe thinks the slaves were
Wait,
allowed to
hold
vote.
on, hold on.
But only
Nobody-
3/5 of one vote.
Nobody interrupt Joe. I want to hear exactly what he thinks the 3/5 compromise was.
They would go into the voting poll, but they were like, all right, but only like 3/5 of this vote counts.
Yeah.
So it took like 5 people to equal one regular full 1.5 votes.
Right.
That is
So
the
it
math.
sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing with the 3/5 compromise. Almost nobody actually knows what it referred to. You might know, I guess, but no one seems to really know. It's sort of the opposite of what people thought it was. 3/5 is how much. So you know how like your congressional representation is based on your population.
Yeah.
Of course.
So you get as much say in Congress as many people there are in your state.
Yeah.
So slaves didn't get to vote, but slave owners still wanted their slaves to count toward how much representation they got in Congress, specifically in the House. So
They were counted as 3/5 of a person as far as your district's overall population.
right. So really, when you thought about it, that means that slave owners were given 3/5 of a vote per person they owned.
Yeah.
So really, if you were an abolitionist, if you hated slavery, you wanted the number to be 0/5.
Yeah.
You thought they deserved no representation on behalf of their slaves.
You don't want to humanize a slave.
And the slave owners wanted it to be full 5/5, which of course would be they would get to vote on behalf of the people that they had enslaved.
And
it's
I can
better-
understand that too, because you control another living being. That's like a great
Yes.
feeling of
It
power.
is. It almost feels like a comedy sketch where it's like, no, I have this guy. He's also a person. Not really a person, but he's kind of a person.
Well, we can consider them sentient beings.
Yeah. I think we should cut out the explanation, just get the clip of Dave saying he's in favor of the 0/5 compromise. He actually thinks it should have been 0.
But yeah, it's funny how much. But like, yeah, you could
But
definitely.
that
get
is
someone-
actually the most progressive way to look at
Well, yeah,
it.
abolitionists exactly. If you were none of the slaves wanted their owner to get to vote on their behalf. That's the whole weird thing about it.
There was also
And have it count more.
There was
right.
Also,
I mean, it gives them more power
Yeah.
to keep them in slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were also not necessarily abolitionists, but people in the North that didn't like slavery. And this is back in the North when even like there was slavery was legal in like New York, New Jersey, etc. They were like, no, there's too many black people here now. So they were anti-slavery, but they were like, because look at all these black people around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't not racist.
Yeah.
Just because they didn't have slaves.
It's also funny when you look at some of the arguments that Southern pro-slavery people were making. If you just look at the arguments and forget that they were doing it because they wanted to keep slavery, they're actually like very progressive by today's standards, because the argument a lot of them made was, well, if we take care of our slaves, if you just have employees, you're going to treat them like shit. They were like making arguments that unions later made, that unions still make about how employees are treated poorly. But I mean, their end goal was to say, because we'll treat slaves well.
Well,
but by
Confederates-
today's standards, if you saw just the quote about workers' rights from 1840, you'd be like, wow, they were way ahead of their time.
Confederates literally said wage slavery.
Yes.
They were like, there's wage slavery in the they were like, thanks, Karl Marx. We like that one phrase. We're not gonna take anything else you said, but I love the phrase wage slavery. It's really nice.
Right, and there have been people who try to, when they want to find ways of saying that, liberals are always wrong, they'll be like, well, really, what did ending slavery didn't really change much. They still had to be employees, and it's like, yeah, it was different though.
Yeah.
Still better.
Yeah.
Still, you don't get to say things were fine before that ended.
Yeah. Although, if you ask Colin Kaepernick, being in the NFL is just like slavery.
Well, look, there's a lot. Ask any Irish person. There's a lot of different kinds of slavery.
Yes.
There's the.
Oh, that is our most disliked
Yes.
video on YouTube. So we have
Careful, Dave. Actually,
we really triggered a lot of people with this one. So we had a clip from our podcast that we put as a short on YouTube, and it was basically making fun of that whole the Irish were slaves too thing.
Yeah.
And we mean it in an American context where like the Irish immigrants were treated like shit, but they did come here from their own volition, which is different than being slaves. And then first of all, like 76% downvotes.
yes.
And all the comments were like, you guys don't know anything about history.
You don't know nothing about what's going on. They took me pappy over here in chains. Away from me pot of gold.
Yeah.
It sucks, dude.
Yeah. They were like, the Vikings actually did enslave Irish people.
Yeah, they did. It was a
Yeah.
bit of a ways back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think it was clear in that clip that we were talking about America specifically. Because, if you go back far enough, literally everyone was slaves.
No, not
Damn.
Irish.
Not Irish.
Irish.
The Irish were the
Everyone
only
except the
people
Irish.
that were never
Clip
enslaved.
this, put it up. Let's get more hate on YouTube.
Only because you can't get them to work, dude. They're too
Yeah.
hungover.
They tried. They gave up fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. If you go far back enough, everyone at some point was slaves and enslaved and slave owners.
Ooh.
The Vikings did take over the Isles for a little while.
Yeah.
I guess that I've never watched it, but I guess the show with Vikings is about that whole thing.
Which one?
Well, there's a famous
just the show
it's called
Vikings.
Yeah, well, there's a
Yeah.
there's a famous story about like this guy like Ragnar or something that was like this great Viking.
Thor Ragnarok.
But Ragnar was like this Viking who like a British king killed him by throwing him a pit full of snakes.
Yeah.
And then his kids came to Britain and like fucked everything up. And one of them, I think the one who took over like Ireland or Scotland, was called the Boneless. They called him Boneless.
Favorite type of chicken.
Yeah,
And
and
there
then
was
St. Patrick got rid of all the snakes, so they can never do that again.
But that's the thing. There's a lot of people wonder what boneless meant.
Yeah,
Did he have a disease with like jelly-like arms?
yeah,
Erectile dysfunction.
maybe.
That's one of the main theories.
I love Joe
That
stumbling into the correct answer.
I just
Just
love.
like he did about the 3/5 compromise.
Yes.
But I love that. I love the idea that there was like a great warrior king who boasted that his dick didn't work.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
the boneless.
Yes,
So you're saying someone with
I am
ED
Jan the Flaccid.
Yeah. You're saying someone with ED went on to do great things?
Can you imagine? Yeah. Yes. Look out the window wistfully.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it is. What is the statute of limitations on? Because Vikings, like, there's a football team called the Vikings, and no one cares. And the Vikings did as horrible shit as anyone in history.
So you're saying that
Like, what's the statute
I
of
see what you're saying.
limitations
You're
on
saying that, like, because
when is a thing okay to dress up as, talk about casually?
Well, yeah, you're saying that like the reason that it's bad to have like the Cleveland Indians as a baseball team is because Indians did horrible, horrible things to our boys.
Yeah, those savage.
Even today, there's people outside
That's-
scalping.
Yeah.
See, yeah, that's the point. No one cares about naming a team after bad people.
Well, it's not even that.
It's the fact that
Well,
New
no,
York
they,
Nazis.
it's people that got victimized.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. No, people.
It's the fact that natives got victimized. so
No,
we
I
can't
think
say
it's
them.
actually the opposite in that the fact that we've had teams like the Indians last until recently, no one would ever name a team like the 7th Cavalry.
Yeah.
That was not going to be a baseball team even back then. So I think you were able to name a team after the victims, I think, more recently because you can kind of say, like, we're honoring them, and it's almost like a tribute to them, but you wouldn't want a tribute like no team was ever going to be the Nazis.
How about the
couldn't be the
Pennsylvania
Nazis.
John Wayne Gacy's?
Yeah.
But like when you really think about that, though, is like, would someday the Nazis be like? Because I mean, think about the Mongols.
Yeah.
You could have a team called the Mongols.
Exactly.
The Mongols were as
That's
bad
what I'm
as the
saying. That's my
Nazis.
the Miami Mongoloids.
Yeah.
But like the Mongols mass murdered
Yes,
millions of
that's
people.
what I was saying as far as like statute of limitations.
That is kind of a good
Yeah.
point that like you could see because I mean look, if in 1,000 years are
Yeah.
we still going to as a Jew, I really hope we're still not talking about like how bad Hitler was. I
Well,
hope
the
lots of
Reich
things
would only last 1,000 years anyway.
right.
Yeah.
But let's face it, in 1,000 years there's going to be so many Hitlers since.
And
We're
I
gonna
think
forget.
if we've learned
I
anything
could think
from
of 3
history, it's
specifically.
that as time goes on, Jews don't complain as much about things.
But we stick
They
around.
forget about stuff.
Yeah,
they forget about. They let stuff go.
Yeah.
So, naming after victims, how about the John Benet Rams?
Ooh.
Wow.
There you go.
That'd be pretty good.
Someday that will be acceptable.
Yeah.
It's all about time. Yeah,
I think if anything, it's like.
so who's the next group
Yeah,
that is going to become that's not okay because the Vikings are okay now because that was
Yes.
1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Who's the next group that will start? Because I
It
think
was like terrible in history.
the Mongols were fine now.
Yeah.
because that was also like
Yeah,
really
the
long
Mongols
ago.
wouldn't be that bad now. I mean, because even like there's some controversy about like the Texas Rangers. Some people have brought up. It hasn't gotten like big, but they were a police force that when they were created, like, were capturing runaway slaves.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Well, any law enforcement that's been around since before 1860 in the
That's
South,
awesome.
that's what they were doing.
Can you
I went to
imagine
s-
they reboot Walker Texas Ranger
Yeah.
and he's just he's just capturing slaves, but he also knows like the same kung fu that Chuck Norris
Yeah.
does.
I mean, a lot of people hate William of Orange, who was the Syracuse Orange Men.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not Otto. It's
Yeah.
William.
It's
How about the insurrectioners?
ooh
1,000 years from now?
Yeah.
I mean, at least a little league team. I feel like that's.
The Trumpers.
Yeah. Oh, that has a good ring
I
to
feel
it.
like there's probably will be
Yeah.
Pop Warner teams named
Yeah.
after January 6th.
The QAnon shamans versus the Trumpers.
I love it.
I'm pretty sure every team that is every high school that's named after a black leader in Florida is going to be renamed after the shaman.
Yeah.
So
Honey, today the insurrectionists are going against the Washington Insiders.
There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
this make me think of something. How much fun it would be to go to a Harlem Globetrotters game head to toe in Washington Generals gear.
Yeah.
Like your face painted, wearing the whole outfit.
Yeah.
You're a super fan.
Who are the biggest Washington Generals fans?
And then you lose your mind when they lose.
Yeah.
Just
Inconsolable.
first row tickets, constantly pleading with the ref to pay attention.
Yeah.
Telling everyone how much money you have on this game.
Yeah.
You don't understand. It's 70-1.
Yeah.
They've won twice in history.
That's what you should do if you win the lottery. Bet on the Washington Generals every game.
And
Because
then-
the one game you win, you probably make a lot of money.
Yeah, they've won twice.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they did win twice just to
Was
shake
it like
things
some
up.
kind of stipulation that they or did it like was it a clean win?
Yeah, no, it's like wrestling. Sometimes you have to let the heel win.
Imagine being at that game when you go to see the Harlem Globetrotters and they lose.
Yeah, especially like when you think about what the Harlem Globetrotters represent, they're basically like the Wakanda of their day.
Yeah.
It's like it's this beautiful idea that there could be that Harlem would get to have like their own pro team that
Yeah.
would represent the community. And sadly, it is just it is entertainment. It's the world we wish existed,
Yeah.
just like Wakanda.
Just like
Yeah.
Wakanda.
Well, now I don't have to see the movie.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank
yes,
you, Dave.
you do.
Thanks. Thanks for joining us, Dave. Where can people find you?
Well, it's Dave Sirus, Sirus, on social medias. I'm on Twitter for now. I don't know how long that's going to keep up.
And
Don't
are
don't
you-
give Dave too many new Instagram followers. That might be a little sus.
Yeah. No, if you can give me 5 new followers, I'll be very happy. If you give me 50,000 new followers, it could be a little worrisome.
Will you be at Atlantic City anytime soon?
I don't know why.
My understanding is that you used to live there.
No, I don't. I've never lived there, if you can imagine.
Awesome. Thank you for clearing up all the rumors on this episode, Dave.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for having us. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.